Crafting Vicky here with you. I hope you're doing well. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I want to start off by showing a beautiful card that I got from Patricia, and the attention to details is just amazing. Look at this. She stamped the front of the envelope, but there's also this beautiful little deer on the back, and this is the gorgeous card, which has many layers die cut and then all layered up, and there's embossing, and then the sentiment is just so beautiful. Thank you so much, Patricia, for sending me the card. This is the only card I got this year, which is surprising, because usually I send out a ton, and but it's a good thing that people didn't send them out, because even now, from what I hear, because I'm registered with the Canada Post, and I get their newsletter and stuff, and they're still saying that they're just starting. From what I saw, the U.S. mail just started authorizing some packages and mail being sent out to Canada, but there's still a big delay, especially for anything that's not within the country. So yeah, it's been something, but you know, it happens. It happened, and let's just hope that next year it's not going to be the case. So Paula mentioned in my last, I asked in my last video what type of videos you guys would like, and of course there was quite a few that were saying recycled Christmas cards, but I had just done one of those, so I wanted to do something else. And Paula mentioned little cards, thank you cards, that I use for my Etsy store, and and that's great because I'm out of cards. So, and I had shown you this card and the back of this one in my last video, and I thought this would be a great one to use for this, because it's not necessarily Christmas, it's more a winter type of thing with the penguin, I feel, and there's a lot of little penguins, and there's little penguins at the bottom as well. So I thought this would be a great way to use all of these little penguins. And once I've made all of these cards, well, we'll see where we're at in terms of timing, but you know, we'll take it from there. What would be cool as well is I could use some of this to as some background, and so we're gonna, and there's more background here. This could be used for a further video if I do more Christmas cards. Then there's this part here. There's the inside of the card that has a pattern. This was sent to me by a lovely viewer, and love using the stuff you send me in videos that I share with you all. And yeah, I'm always looking for little images. I mean, I usually use stickers and stuff, but I've got this card and it has a ton of little different little guys, so why not use these for the cards, you know? I'm not gonna cut these down too much. I'm gonna wait until I've got the paper choice, and then I can decide what I want to do with them. Okay, so I've got all of these, and then I have this little one that I could also cut up and use. And I'm going to keep some of this, because if I use dark paper, I could use this as the inside, because I need like, I've made a few cards that were red, and it was an issue writing on the inside a thank you, because the colors didn't show up all that much. Why am I putting this away? I'm gonna need it. Okay, so I've got, yeah, I still need to cut out these little guys. So So I've been really blessed with a lot of Etsy orders, and I've also used up my time since I'm not making as many videos for YouTube, and I'm feeling better. I've been listing a lot of items, which is great because I've realized that in the past year I wasn't listing stuff anymore, vintage items. Like, I wasn't listing as much, hardly anything, and I was just reposting the same listings. And now that I'm feeling better, I've been doing a lot of it, and I had a week of vacation after the holidays, and so I'm using that time to list even more items. And obviously when you list a lot of items, Etsy likes it, so I guess it recommends your stuff, so which is great. And yeah, so I've been really happy and making a lot of sales for my vintage items, which I love, finding unique items and finding gifts for people that have a significance. There's quite a lot of people that commented that they were getting stuff that was being nostalgic and reminding them of their childhood, and you know, that really touches me. Because obviously when you're looking for some items, there's certain things that are harder to find, and obviously, is it gonna even fit? Yeah, it would fit. Because the card really doesn't have to be big. It just has to be, and it'd be fun to have an edge that has a design. It doesn't have to be big. I just need to have a little piece to write on, and that's it. I just feel like, because I'm a crafter and because I make a lot of cards, it makes sense to make them myself. A lot of people don't put necessarily and make cards. They'll just make a little note or put a post-it or something, and some don't even do that. But I just feel like if people take the time to shop in your Etsy store, it's nice to take the time to put a little note and say thank you, because they're supporting a small business, and that's great. I'm all for supporting smaller businesses. There's so many big, giant businesses out there, and it's the little guys that you know, it supports the economy, makes the stuff move, and I don't know. I like supporting artists and people finding thrifting items and stuff like that. So if you're like me, go on Etsy, and I'm sure you'll find a bunch of different things that would be wonderful gifts, whether they're jewelry items or different vintage items. Like, there's so many. That's a bit small. Yeah, that's a bit small. I'm not gonna do that one. This one, though, would be perfect, and it's the perfect color as well with my little penguin. So yeah, you can find pretty much everything. I always purchase. I've shared with you guys in a video a long time ago. I purchased my soap from an artisan that sells on Etsy, and so before the holidays I ordered a bunch of soaps because I had run out, and yeah, I just love it. It's they're so well made, and it's different than just purchasing the stuff that you find at a regular store. So see, this one is really dark, so if I'm gonna use this, I'm gonna need to put something else in underneath. And of course I need, once I've done that, once I've done my little cards, I need to stamp on the back my logo, which I often forget. Honestly, like, you might if you get cards from me, it could easily happen that I forget to put the my stamp. It's just, that's the way it is. So let's just get going. I just filmed my first Patreon video for the year. They asked me, they choose what they're gonna be seeing, and it's an unusual color, but I think it would be cute. Probably not the one with the shiny at. I would probably go with this one, but I think that one would be very sweet. And I could actually put little snowflakes, and I believe I have some of those close by because I just put away my Christmas stuff, but I think I had snowflakes. Yep, I had snowflakes in it, so I could actually use a little snowflake on it. I think that would add to this and be really sweet. You know, like something like that. I have these, and I have in the white. I probably have other ones. I have these as well. Of course, I have some in different colors. I didn't even go, this year I didn't even go to the dollar store during the holidays to get Christmas things. I didn't have time. Everything was just busy. And I have these as well, but these might be a little bit big. I believe some of these would be better. So I'm just going to put these aside close by so I can think about it. And I've got my bling as well. So yeah, I just did a special video for them. I'm going to be doing it in 2 parts this month. They're going to get a video with, because they asked how I store my items. And I realized that I shared my studio tour with the more higher tier, but I had not done it with the I had done it for like the behind the scene tier, but I had not done it for everybody. And now that they requested it, I decided that that's what I was gonna give them. And so now I just filmed the video tour, and that will be out soon on Patreon for all tiers. And I share basically how I store everything, and why, and what I found through the different years of crafting. And I realized that I've been crafting for over 30 years, so quite a long time. So when people think I've got a lot of supplies, yes, it's true, but those supplies didn't just materialize within a year, you know, like they were an accumulation of 30 something years. Otherwise, and a lot of them I also purchase used, like crafters deciding that they were stopping their craft, and they would put stuff on sale, and I would just pick it up. I think one is going to be sufficient, and I don't want my cards to be too big because sometimes the what I sell is quite small, so, and I try to ship in the smallest box as possible so that the shipping doesn't cost as much, because whatever I charge for shipping is what it actually costs me. I don't make money on shipping, so if Etsy charges more than what it costs me, then I usually, well, it's not I will do a refund for the excess. Because I just feel like that's not what I'm there for. I'm there for selling vintage items or handmade items. I've started making flower bouquet out of little shakers and buttons, and I think they turned out really sweet. I just made a bunch with cats. Single shakers that, you know, they sometimes when I purchase stuff, there'll be a single shaker in the bag, because our Value Village have have baggy walls, and often there's items in there that don't necessarily fit, and of course you can't pick and choose. You have to pick out the bag. So when that happens, I either if it's really not to my liking, I will return, like I'll give back whatever item I'm not using. But if it's a shaker like that, I would keep it, but then I would have all these shakers that are by themselves, and I wasn't really interested in selling them individually, because first of all, who's going to buy a single shaker unless you've got the exact same shaker that you broke one and you kept it, but now you're looking for a piece, but you know the chance of that is slim. So I have all these different shakers, and they haven't been listed, and they've been in my stash for a while, and I just wanted to find a way to use them, and I did that, and I think they turned out pretty good. So and it's kind of fun, because if you want to offer flowers, well, it's a type of flower that will never die, you know. So I think it's just a fun way of reusing something and not getting it put in the landfill. Love recycling whichever way I can. I think there's so much that we just throw away. If we can recycle some stuff, it's a great thing. Okay, this one I could probably use one of the bigger pieces. At the same time, I don't want to necessarily block off everything, so I think I'm gonna just cut it off smaller. I'm hoping I'm gonna have quite a few cards now, and I'll be good for a little while. Because yesterday I had to mail out an order, and I had to create on the fly a little card because I had none left. And I prefer having them ahead of time, you know. Especially if I sell stuff while I'm working. I come back to the studio and I'll just ship it, you know. Prepare the order and then get it sent the following day, or as soon as possible. I don't like waiting for my orders to ship. I hate, as a customer, we're so used now to having stuff like delivered very quickly because of Amazon and so on. So I really hate waiting, and I figure everybody's like me, so I really don't want my customers to be waiting for their package the least amount of time as possible. So that's what I try to ship it as soon as possible, but obviously it depends on what's going on and if I can get to the shipping store. I've also discovered that Canada Post is much more expensive than the other shipping provider that I use, and so I've been going to that other shipping provider, but I just had a case of a lost package. I'm not happy with that, and it's gonna take 90 days for them to review the case. Meanwhile, I have to refund the customer because they're not gonna get their item. So I don't know, we shall see. So far it's the first time that the package gets lost, or like I haven't had any damage or anything else. So if that's the only case, it's not so bad, but if I have more, then I might have to go back to Canada Post because they're more expensive, but I haven't had much damage, and when they do, when there is something that get lost, they're very quick in sending the refund. New. We spent a lot of time with family. My husband is working on our basement, trying to get that fixed. The floor has been poured. We're doing a concrete floor. It's going to be polished concrete, so this way, if should there be any other flooding, we won't have the same issue as we had this time. Like, we won't have to redo the floor, can just clean it off. But it's pretty expensive, and obviously we can't do it ourselves, so we got a company to do that. But then there's all the rest of the stuff that needs to be done, so my husband's been working on that. And on my son's basement, we spent time with the family and with my dad and my little niece and nephew. That's been really, really fun. And what else? With my daughter as well. Our animals are getting old. That's really sad. Hendrix, our oldest cat, is going to turn 18 this year, and you can see that he's like definitely on his last miles. He's doesn't have much energy. He's lost a lot of weight, even though he eats properly. And he's just like bones, basically. And I remember my grandmothers, when they got like really old, that's what would happen. Like, they would, even though they would eat, they would lose a lot of the weight and be bony, you know. Strange, but that's what it is, and I feel like that's what's happening with him. I'm thinking these are a bit dark, so maybe I should use some of this to put inside it, so that it's easier to write a little note. I'm gonna keep this little bar because I think it's cute. And our dogs. Charlie's so funny. He's so deaf now that when Macron gets up in the morning, if I don't get up, he just doesn't get up. Like, he doesn't hear my husband getting up. So my husband has to go on his side and wake him up to bring him out of the room. And he's also getting, you know, like you can see a film on top of his eyes. So he's also getting cataracts type of situation. This is a bit small. I should have made it a little bit bigger. So I guess I'm going to use more like this one. Is that too big still? Oh, that's pretty much the right size. Yeah, but they still have lots of energy, even though they're already 13. They're turning 14 this year. And for dogs of their size, it's a Cocker Spaniel and Cockapoo, so a mix of Cocker and a Poodle. It's a pretty good age. So getting ready, trying to mentally, you know, prepare myself for the fact that they will eventually pass, but just so hard losing a pet. I mean, they bring so much love and joy, and when they go, it's so empty. It's really sad. And I know a ton of you have gone through that and understand what I'm talking about. but I wouldn't trade it. I think they bring a lot of joy to the family. So here we go. That's quite a lot of little penguins. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards done so far. So it's pretty cool. I've got some music paper as well here that's just lying on my desk. I thought that could be fun to use for this. Maybe I can put one with the little earmuffs. It looks almost like they're wearing earphones. My kids always go out walking and have these big earphones on their ears. I keep telling them that it's not good to wear those all the time, that it's going to affect their hearing, but I think they just don't want to hear me. Especially when I'm asking them stuff. I think that's their best excuse. I didn't hear you, Mom. So I can't wait to read what you've been up to. I hope you're doing well. The weather here has been good. It's been cold this week though, which is kind of normal. The right time of year for that. I could put a paler gray, because I mean I've got it. I don't want to put it away. It's going to be the opposite direction of the rest of the pudding, but I think it's still gonna work. I also want this year to start, I would love to make some journals. I haven't made any journals in a long time, so I'm thinking that that would be fun to do. A lot of things that I want to do. It's the time that I don't have. But it's good news, because if I want to do all of these things, it's because I'm doing better. It's when I don't want to do anything that you know that there's something wrong with me, because usually I'm full of plans and I've got all kinds of different things that I want to do and try, and like I would love to do some mosaic. I want to do I would love to do more like jelly printing and make journals. I want to also what else did I want to try? There's a few things I said to my dad that I wanted to try this year, and now I'm not thinking of them. This is gonna be cute because the little feet are yellow, so I thought that would be a good mix. Maybe we could use some of the red though. Like for example, I have this red here, and then my little guy. That could be good. I don't want to do that because I'm going to cut it crooked. Even with the guillotine, I cut stuff crooked, so it's going to be even worse if I cut it with just my scissors. And I think the fact that there's a design, I'm not going to put anything else on it. So if you purchase stuff in my Etsy store, obviously you're gonna get one of those little cards at the present time. But other times during the year you would get other different colors of things. And I do try to... it's a great way of using stickers that I have. Actually, you know what? I've got this here. Might as well use that. Because when am I going to use this? So, look at that. I almost cut it in the right size. Not quite, but close. These are the parts where the paper attaches to the paper pack. What type of crafts do you want to do? What type of stuff do you want to do this year? Do you have any resolutions? Are there things that you would love to be able to do this year that you haven't done before? You know, I love hearing about all of those things. So put comments. I love reading your comments. They're always fun. Okay, we were down to 2 images. You can probably hear my tenant. I think he must be on vacation this week. Probably because of the kids. I'm not sure that their kids have gone back to school. And they're sitting right above my head. And with the vent, you can hear them. I'm hoping that the camera doesn't pick it up too much. Usually when I try to film, usually they're not there, but it's later in the day because I've done a lot of other stuff today. And okay, so we've got one last one, and I think I'm going to use red to do it. And obviously it's a dark color, so I'm going to use one of these inside. Maybe I should just use the bigger piece here, and I can throw the rest aside because obviously I'm not going to use it, but I've used quite a lot, which is great. It's allowed me not to use other material, which is awesome. And I still have this here, which is on my desk. So maybe I can use that. Really using up as much as possible all the little things that otherwise would have gone in the bin. I went to a new thrift store that, well, it's not new, it's new to me, but it's not new. My husband has gone before to it's our eco center, so you go and if you've got material that you want to get rid of, you go and deposit it there, but they also sell stuff. And I went for the first time yesterday, and it's fun to see that that they're really trying to reuse as much as possible and recycle as much as possible, because there's so much that goes into the landfills. Yeah. So that's one of the things too why I love selling vintage items, is giving them a new life. You know, like you're getting a gift, but it's something that is a second life to that item, versus buying something new. So anyway, I really hope that you've enjoyed, if not love, this chatty video with me. I can't wait to read your comments, and I will see you guys either in the month of February or again in January. Who knows? It's going to depend, I guess, on the on all the stuff going on. But just wanted to say hello, and Paula, I hope that you've enjoyed seeing me make these little cards. They would be, if you don't, obviously not everybody has need for cards like this, but these would make really fun tags on gifts, or you could use them as card toppers. So instead of, you know, when you get a card, let's see where Paula's card went. Where did I put it? It was right there. Oh, I put it up above. So, for example, you could put, you know, another color, and voila, you've got a card. So you can make a bunch of these and then use them as toppers for your own cards. Just some ideas. So love you guys. Take care, and I will see you soon. Bye.